Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be making this jogger skirt of these two-piece. The next tutorial will be on the red corset top. The tutorial for the top of the green skirt is already on the channel. I'll leave the link in the description. So do not forget to like and share this video, and let's get right into the tutorial. I have 3 yards of fabric here, and I made this skirt with roughly 2 yards of fabric. This line is my center front line, and I came in by 0.75 inch for my seam allowance, and my fabric is folded into 2 at 14.5 inches from my center front line. I've gone ahead and marked out important lines. From the waistline to the hip line measured 10 inches, to the knee line is 25 inches, then the full length of the skirt is 44 inches, the rest is the hem allowance. On the hip line from the center front line, I will place 1/4 of the hip measurement of 13 inches. I will place the same measurement on the waistline, but I'll minus 1 inch from it, so on the waistline will be 12 inches, and I'll connect these 2 points with a slightly curved line. On the knee line, I will minus 1 inch from 1/4 of the hip measurement and place 12 inches. I'll connect these points to the hip line. Then at the hem of the skirt, I'll place the same measurement and connect it with a straight line to the knee line. On the center front line from the knee line, I went up by 1.5 inches for the beginning of my slit opening. So you determine how open you want your slit to be. Then on the waistline from the side seam, I came in by 6 inches and marked that point. Then with my tape on the waistline, I went down by 11 inches for the depth of my pocket, and I'll square it out. With my tape on the waistline from the side seam, I came in by 2.5 inches for the width of my pocket opening, and with my tape on the waistline, I went down 6 inches for the depth of my pocket opening, and I'll connect these 2 points. I'll go ahead and cut it out and make necessary notches, and I'll cut out a piece of fabric to trace out my pocket. I have cut out this piece of square for my pocket, and I have 2 pieces here. The length measured 12.5 inches and the width measured 10 inches. I will place it under my skirt, pin it in place, and trace out the shape of the pocket. So guys, I've cut out my pocket, and it was at this point that I made a big mistake. I forgot that the pocket will be top stitched on the skirt, so I went and cut off that portion on my skirt, which I'm not supposed to do. So please be careful not to make the same mistake. I took care of it, which you will see as we proceed in the tutorial. My fabric here is folded into 2 for the back panel, exactly the way I did on the front panel, and I have marked out the important lines exactly the way I did on the front panel. The only difference is that I came down by some inches to mark the beginning of my waistline. On the hip line, I'll place 1/4 of the hip measurement of 13 inches. On the knee line, I will minus 1 inch from the hip measurement and place 12 inches. I'll place the same measurement at the hem. Then on the center back line at the knee line, I will come in by 1/2 inch. I will do the same at the hem and connect these 2 points with a straight line. I will also connect the side seam. I'll connect the knee line to the hip line with my curved ruler. Then on the waistline from the center back line, I went in by 1 inch and connected it to the hip line. On the waistline, from the 1 inch I came in on the center back, I'll place 1/4 of the hip measurement minus 1 inch. This gives me 12 inches, and I will draw in my side seam. On the waistline from the center back, I will extend that 1 inch upwards, and from the waistline, I will go up by 1.5 inches to give room for the butt and connect it back to the waistline, and I'll cut out my pieces. Please do not forget to add your seam allowances. On the center back is 0.75 inch, on the side is 1 inch, on the waistline is 1/2 inch, and at the hem is 1.5 inches seam allowance. So guys, this is the front panel of my skirt. Like I earlier mentioned, I was not supposed to cut that part on the skirt because the pocket will be top stitched on it. So I'm going to fix that from this remaining piece of fabric, but before then I'll go ahead and attach the front panel with a straight stitch to the beginning of the slit and prepare the slit. I will also do the same for the back panel. I have attached the center front panel of the skirt and have ironed down the seam allowance of the slit. On the part that I cut off on the skirt, I came in by an extra 1 inch and ironed it down. I also ironed the peaks that I'll use to fix it so that when I attach the pocket, the joining will be hidden by the pocket. So I'll match right sides to right sides, pin it in place and attach with a straight stitch. I have attached the piece and this is what I have. Remember, this is a mistake I'm trying to fix, so be careful not to do the same. I'll use the pocket as a template to cut out the sides of the skirt and make necessary notches. Once that is done, I'll go ahead and work on the pocket. I'll fold the 2.5 inches pocket width and the 6 inches pocket depth like so and iron it down to make a crease. Then I'll cut off the excess, leaving a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'll iron on a 1 inch medium weight interfacing on the pocket opening to give it some stability. Please make sure this interfacing crosses the crease line. Then I'll go ahead and fold in the 1/2 inch seam allowance just like you see me doing in the video. I'll also iron on a 1/2 inch interfacing on the sides and at the bottom of the pocket to give it some structure. So guys, I have prepared my pockets and this is how I added the interfacing to give structure to the pocket because the fabric is flowy. I'll go ahead and pin it in place on the skirt and top stitch using a straight stitch. Please ensure to top stitch the pocket opening before attaching to the skirt. I have attached the pockets and this is what it's looking like. You can see here that the joining on the skirt is properly hidden by the pocket. On the front slit, on the seam allowance, I added some interfacing for some stability. I'll go ahead and secure the front slit with a straight stitch. So guys, this is my back panel. I have joined the two panels together, overlocked the raw edges and have top stitched it as you can see in the video. I'll go ahead and assemble the back panel to the front with their right sides facing each other. I'll pin it in place and attach with a straight stitch. I'll secure the front slit with a straight stitch and also attach the waistband of the skirt. I have done all that I said and you can see how neat the front slit is. I went ahead and finished off the hem of the skirt and did the buttonholes for the drawstring on the waistband of the skirt. I'll peel off the interfacing and cut open the buttonhole. I will stitch close the waistband, leaving a space open to pass in the elastic. I have attached the elastic and this is what I have. The next thing I'm going to do is to create the drawstring channel. So in order not to end up with one side of the waistband being longer than the other, you're going to match up the center front and back together and pin in place. Then you will pin the side seams on the elastic. And you do this without stretching the elastic, and please make sure that the side seams are right on the side. Once everything is well positioned, you go ahead and run your stitches to create the drawstring channel using the buttonhole as a guide. I have run the first stitch line for the drawstring as you can see, and I made these stitches without removing the pins. And to be sure that both sides of my waistband are the same, I will match up the center front and back and fold my waistband in half. You can see here that both sides of the waistband are the same. I'll go ahead and run the second stitch line below the buttonhole to complete creating the channel. In case you end up with one side of your waistband being longer than the other, I will leave a link of a tutorial in the description on how to fix it. So guys, I've completed the installation of the waistband and everything is perfect as you can see. Please ensure that you make these stitches with the pins on the side, center, front and back so that these points remains the same before and after sewing. The next thing I'm going to do is to insert the drawstring rope, and that's practically it for this tutorial. Another thing I did after sewing the skirt was to add a patch pocket on this one to differentiate it from the second skirt, which was exactly like this one I made. So from the waistline where we added the waistband, I came down at 6 inches for the installation of the pocket. Then from the center back line to the beginning of the pocket, measured 2 inches. So the distance from one pocket to the other on the center back will be 4 inches. Now you decide the width and how deep you want your pocket to be. Do not forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it. Leave all your questions in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. The link to the corset of this skirt will be added in the description of this video when uploaded, so do not forget to check that out. And until my next one, a bientôt.